Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Safety Systems and KB Lawn Care. Now, Safety Systems, they are open for business, have been, and they are offering free inspections. If you've got a security system that you want checked, make sure it's running right, they'll take a look at it, and then they can upgrade you as well. They do terrific work, and they have for 20 years now, not to mention entertainment systems. And if you're bored out of your mind these days, get a nice entertainment system from Safety Systems. KB Lawn Care, well, they're mowing your lawn. They're not inside. There's no social contact there, and they do a great job. How do I know? They mow my lawn. They take care of. They actually landscaped my whole yard to where my neighbors no longer want to burn me out of the neighborhood. They do great work. kblawncare.net, safetysystems.com, as we update you on the status of all our many supporters on this show, and we thank you for supporting them. Okay, with Tennessee off to a hot start in recruiting, we really have no idea if there will be an early signing period this year, so it's going to be interesting to see this thing play out. But I wanted to sort of show folks what Tennessee has done in previous years. Let's compare this class as it's being built to previous great classes or good classes at Tennessee. All right, this century, Tennessee's had a number of top 10 classes. You can see them right there. They're number 3 in the nation at the moment. What we've broken down is you see the number of 5 stars, the number of 4 stars, and then the total number of 4s and 5s. You see, last year you didn't have any 5 stars. You got 2 committed for this year. But you go back, boy, look at 2000, you had the number 1 class in the country. 5 5 stars, 6 4 stars, 11 total. But you had 5, 4, 3, 5 stars in 2000, 2001, 2002. You talk about not knowing what's coming. You look at that and then you think you go 5 and 6 in 2005.
Yeah, predict the rest of that decade or the next 2 decades.
Yeah.
You would have been laughed at.
Who would have ever seen? So anyway, my question for you guys as you look at that, what's it going to take for Tennessee to stay in that rarefied air to hold on to that number 3 slot? It looks like you're going to need another 5-star perhaps, and then several more 4 stars just based on what it's taken in the past. Thoughts on keeping this class together and moving up? How likely is it that they remain number 3? That's hard. I'm asking you to pull out a crystal ball, but
yeah, that's going to be really difficult to do because if you look at the total numbers, I mean Tennessee realistically, considering what it's facing in recruiting, which is this Clemson, Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, what they're going to put together, North Carolina, as you mentioned earlier in the show, and they might have to triple the total number of 4 and 5 stars. So to do that, what they need to do, I think, is win a big game and be more competitive against the big boys. Because at some point, this of course assuming that you're going to go through that schedule, you have to show that what you're promising is going to start to come together. And if they can do that, I think they will continue to add to, in recruiting, because I think they're going to have more numbers by the time they get to the season. So it'll be more about holding on to those guys and building on it.
Yeah, I think what Josh said is right, but I think too, honestly, I think the hardest part is already done, and that you've got a bunch of guys in the boat, because those guys are going to start being some of your best recruiters,
right.
And those momentum things build. Good players want to play with other good players. If you're looking at it like, well, who am I going to be going with? And you look and you see, oh, they got Dylan Brooks, they got Julian Nixon, they got all these guys. Like, oh, I think I want to go play with those guys. The hard part is getting those initial guys in the boat, and then you can get some dominoes that start to fall. And so Tennessee is, they're in a great spot for 2021, which is the opposite of where they were. I mean, they got off to a really rough start in 2020 and still salvaged it. Now you got a chance to put together a truly special class.
And it's going to be interesting to see. It is one thing to go steal the eggs out of someone else's nest, and it's one thing to protect the eggs in your own nest from other people. I mentioned Alabama not even being, they're not even showing up in the top 30, top 35.
Yeah, 42nd or something. Yeah.
My guess is that ain't going to be how they finish.
Right.
So, you go get a kid from Alabama, does he stay with you? When the Clemsons and the Alabamas and the LSUs turn it on, is Tennessee going to be able to, put up the walls around their castle and keep everybody at bay?
Isn't it going to be a fascinating year, especially with the social media influence? And social media is not everything. It's not the world, but
it's everything.
It's where all the recruits are, and it's where coaches are, as you can see this past week. But with all that Tennessee has done, we've already started to see Florida and Oklahoma, Texas A&M players say, easy, Terrence Lewis hasn't signed yet. So there's going to be probably some kind of tug of war that's going to be more public maybe than we've seen. So this is probably just the start of the fun. So as a sports talk radio host, I'm a little bit thankful as well.
Well, and especially, I'm going to keep things positive. Let's say there is a football season, but if it's delayed or something for some reason, or impact in the middle or something, every eye is going to go straight back to recruiting.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be what you have. I mean, like right now, all eyes
That's
are on it
something
because
that
there's nothing
actually
else
is
going
happening.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it will play out more, if it's possible, under more spotlight than usual, which will be a lot of spotlight because everybody's focused on it. All right. We've been talking about the talent coming into Tennessee. Up next, we're going to talk about the talent going out. The NFL, which teams have the most balls. We'll look at which Tennessee coaches have the most guys drafted. That's an interesting list. And also, if you're wanting to pick a new NFL team, I'll tell you which NFL team has drafted the most balls in the history of the NFL and which one's done the least. We'll tell you who hates the balls. Next, come on back.